Drew Swanson. I've been with Domo for about 3.5 years, helped manage the relationship with the NBA and NFL. Looking forward to introducing everybody here to Domo. I'm sure some of you have probably been stalked over the internet, whether it be on LinkedIn or on social platforms with our ads. But I guess before we really get into who we are as a company and what Domo does, I want to try to engage the audience a bit. I'm not going to make anybody talk unless you want to, but just quick show of hands. I try to oversimplify things, and I bucket folks into two categories within most organizations, whether you work for a league, whether you're on a team, whether you're a vendor that sells to teams or ads or whatever it may be. But I like to think that there are data consumers and then the data producers. So the producers are the folks that are pulling data from different systems, cobbling it together into Excel, creating charts, graphs, trying to gain sense of the data. They're the ones that work in a particular role. They're the workhorses that bring the data to life. And then the consumers are those that are business decision makers, whatever role that may be. It could be specific to folks in marketing, whether it be social and digital, which is what I'm going to try to focus on during this because it's the the track that we're in. But it can really be anybody. It can be all the way up to the owner or CEO of your organization, folks that are making decisions off of that data. So just quick show of hands in the room, who are the folks that are the data producers, those that are kind of in the data, elbow deep every day, pulling data from certain sources? So we got 1, 2, all right. Our competition in the tech tank. Anybody who are the data consumers, you're making decisions off of the data? All right, a few more. Folks who do both, because I know a lot of organizations run lean. A lot of times you wear multiple hats. Okay, very good. So that being said, Domo's going to resonate differently for whatever role you play. But the challenge, especially around digital, around social, around marketing, things that sound really easy: ROI by channel, revenue by lead attribution, your digital reach, retention. Engagement, all this stuff is really difficult to get a holistic view of really what's going down, what's happening. And in order to do that, it takes a lot of hours. It takes pulling data from a myriad of sources. A lot of times in most organizations, whether you're a team or if you're a Fortune 10 company, a lot of times that happens fairly manually. A ton of stuff happens in Excel with pivot tables and VLOOKUPs and all the manipulation and massaging of that data just to try to create actionable insights. It's not easy to do. So the challenge is real, and we're trying to help you bring data into one place and actually understand what it's telling you and get answers from your business. Now, talking simplistically, that's what Domo does. For the producers of data, those who spend hours on end trying to bring the data to one centralized location, trying to make sense of it for the consumers. We're hoping to automate that. We're hoping to streamline whatever type of joining and merging and all the work that you have to do to get that data ready for understanding. We're hoping to automate that. And then for the consumers, those who are making decisions off the data, we want it to be in real time. We want it to be at your fingertips. We want you to be able to get the answers on your own without having to put in requests and just simply wait. Now, who is Domo? Has anybody heard of Domo before today? Or yeah, a couple hands, all right. Quick background. I think the background of who we are really helps paint the picture for what we're trying to accomplish. Now, our CEO is a guy by the name of Josh James. Before Domo, he was the co-founder and CEO of Omniture. If you're in this tech tank, there's a good chance you know what Omniture is, or Adobe Analytics, Site Catalyst. He was the co-founder and CEO of Omniture. So his whole world was website analytics, helping companies, helping teams, helping the leagues understand what people were doing on their website, helping to optimize their websites. And here he was providing all this great analytic data to all their customers, yet internally running his own business, he had no idea what was going on. Whether it be about marketing campaigns and their success rate, or if it was about sales, he wanted to understand his pipeline. He wanted to understand what they could bring in this month, if they were going to hit their targets. Finance, if how their cash flow was, if they were burning through money too quickly, if they were operating efficiently, all this data from across his entire organization, he had no idea what was going on. And he tried traditional BI platforms. He tried to create analytics, and every single solution that he bought at the time was way too complex for an average Joe to use. It was built for somebody who is extremely savvy with writing queries to databases and doing all the ETL manipulation. It was tools that were not built for people making decisions. It was built for analysts. So he ended up taking Omniture public, sold it to Adobe. It's now Adobe's digital marketing suite, Site Catalyst, and a myriad of other products that they now have. And he started Domo after he sold that, with the idea of attacking this problem of business decision makers solving problems, essentially getting answers to questions they had about running their own business. That's what Domo's all about. To date, we've got just over $450 million in VC funding, over 1,000 employees. When I started 3.5 years ago, we were just shy of 100. So some rapid growth and obviously a lot of backing and belief in the problems that we're trying to solve. All right. I won't spend too much time on this slide. I think it's a little bit too, typical for a software sales presentation, the pyramid of all the different slices. But I do like to point out that, what we're doing, there are companies that do one slice of this pyramid. That's all they do. That's their best practice. Connecting data, bringing it from all these different sources. You've got ETL companies. All they do is taking data and making it, cohesive and understandable and doing whatever manipulation you need on that. That's just a slice of the pie here. Visualizing the data, traditional BI companies have been doing that for a while, but not in an intuitive way. Engaging, having collaboration. I personally am from Portland, Oregon originally. I don't live here anymore, but a company like Jive, that's all they focus on is the internal social collaboration, the engagement. Again, that's a slice of the pie of what we do. And then optimizing your business, some machine learning, basically getting smarter of the data and understanding how to make your business run more efficiently. So that's another component here. Just click through all this. Basically, this is meant to show kind of what most organizations go to. You've got about 5 or 6 different data sources in the process that the consumers might not know this pain as well as the producers of data, but you might have to go to 5 or different data sources, pull that into Excel, cobble it together, join it, make it all fuse nicely, and then ultimately you're gonna end at something like this in Excel. Pivot tables, some half-assed charts that you probably don't have much interactivity with to glean any real business insights from. Just want to make sure I'm going down the right path. Is this process and what I'm talking about, is it making sense for anybody? Does this sound like what you might be doing day to day in different departments? Mm-hmm. See a couple nods, a few hands. So at Domo, what we're doing here is we want to, first of all, automate the entire process of getting data into one place. There's going to have to be some work on that data done. That happens automatically in Domo, and we want to provide insights into your business. Now, with the NFL, with the NBA, our engagements have traditionally been around social data, around fan data, whether that's fantasy football interaction, whether it's engagement via social channel, where different audiences are coming from. We're trying to give them that visibility. Let me toggle over here to the actual Domo instance. We're trying to give them that visibility into Domo. So quickly, just going through that pyramid in a real quick fashion. This is one way, and this shows the breadth of all the different data sources that we can connect to. Again, whether it's email marketing data, website analytics, social media, it could be financial systems, it could be, we're running a little slow here on the internet. but we built a library of over 450 pre-built connectors to all these different data sources that you leverage. Ticketing websites, on-premise databases, Excel spreadsheets. We're going to connect to those and bring those into Domo in an automated fashion. Beyond that, we'll create best practice dashboards. So you log in and you're looking at real-time information about what's going on. If you're the chief marketing officer of a team, there's going to be some metrics that you're going to pay more attention to. Not only can you come in here and see what those are in real time as the data is updating, but you can create alerts on that. So instead of necessarily even having to log in, you can be on the road, you get an alert on your cell phone, tells you that your marketing ROI dropped by 15%. What's going on? Dig into that. Get the folks involved in that type of a process, involved in the situation. If you're a digital marketer, these are some of the more common key performance indicators that you might be tracking. We've got them in real time. You can drill into it. You can look at something like this, content marketing. What you're sending out, different pieces of content that you're engaging your audience, whether it be by social media, whether it be by email marketing, whatever means necessary. It tells you right now, it's ranking all the different content that you've sent out. Right now we're only looking at it by views. If you want to look at it by conversions or click-throughs or by different stages in the sales funnel or however you want to look at your business, we can organize it that way. Everything I'm talking about has been leaning more towards marketing, more towards digital, social. But another thing we can do here is, and the reason I like to highlight these is because I think it gets the wheels turning on how you can leverage a platform like Domo to take data and answer business questions. And that, the one thing I want you to take away from this presentation is that we're leveraging the data that you have to help business decision makers answer questions that they have about running their business and actually take action on it. So the NFL came to us a couple years ago when they had Super Bowl in New York, and they said, hey, we think that this is potentially going to be a logistical nightmare. We're setting up Super Bowl Village right in the heart of Broadway. We've got all these different booths. Everybody who's in Super Bowl Village has RFID scanners on their badges, so when they check into a new location along this entire boulevard, we'll know about it. And this was updating every 10 minutes, and it gave the NFL the ability to allocate resources, to basically say, all right, hey, we're looking at this, and right now the toboggan run is completely oversold, overstaffed, or, excuse me, not overstaffed. That's where all the action is right now. We're overloaded. So they could easily, on the fly, and this is updating every 5 minutes, or excuse me, every 10 minutes. They could allocate resources, say, hey, scurry down to toboggan run. We need more resources there. And then in addition, more than just being able to allocate resources, they could see where people were going, from which tent to the other. This is kind of an outside-of-the-box way of thinking about data and using a platform like Domo, but it's kind of in line with what we're trying to do. Another example here, if I go to the next app, business decisions, right? You're trying to use data to make decisions. I think this is a really easy one to understand. Who should we draft if you're a team? Who do you draft? And everybody has a number of different metrics. Every team, I'm sure, has their secret sauce. But what we did for a particular team here is we took all the data that they had from standard spreadsheets, from more advanced GPS or wearable technology that they put on certain players. And we were able to craft together an NFL Combine app that gave them a pretty clear insight of what they valued, and how they're going to use that data to ultimately figure out who they're going to draft. So a lot of different things we can do with Domo. I think for the sake of this tech tank and for this conference, we do really well with social, with digital, with marketing data. It's where our DNA is, so to speak. But you can really take our platform and take the idea of data and analytics to the next level with our platform. So I think we're getting close on time. 2 minutes, yeah. I guess now's a good time. I know that there's a Q&A portion, so I'll open it up.
I guess my first question is, how easy is it to authenticate these data sources, like especially in social? Is it as simple as sort of logging in with your credentials and it all sort of gets pulled in, or do you sort of have to work with your consulting team on the ground to sort of get it set up and get the integration up and running?
The short answer is both.
Okay.
Not all data sources, not all data is created equal.
But like, you know, on the social platforms, like if you were trying to pull in your Twitter, your Facebook, you know, that sort of stuff that is pretty standard, is that a sort of, you know, managed model, or is it a self-serve model?
It's very self-service. So
Okay.
how I'll answer that question is I'll click on this. This is our app store. So an app is meant to answer business questions from Domo's definition. We have a quick start app. So what I'll do is I'll click on that. I want this similar to, you know, the Apple App Store. I'll go ahead and I'll click get it. I'm going to click add new. And, you know, in this case, I already have my account credentials loaded. So Domo and Instagram, my Instagram account, they're talking. I've given it access. If anybody wants to follow me, my Instagram name is DrewTA. I'll go ahead and click DrewTA. I'll power this up. I'll call it Instagram Quick Start NSF. Go ahead, do save and finish. And this is going to take less than, well, depending on the internet connection, less than 5 minutes to power up, to literally connect to my data in Instagram. Right now, it's powering up. So some of the data is already in there, total followers.
That's cool.
Others loading. That's out of the box. Now, the important thing about this only gets you to that building block, right?
Yeah.
But we don't want you to have to recreate, you know, blocking and tackling. We want to make blocking and tackling second nature, and then once you're in there, our consulting team will teach you a back shoulder fade. That's how we approach it.
Right.
But we automate the easy stuff. And I say easy stuff. That's easy for us, but nobody can do this. And that was less than a minute.
Yeah.
What do you see as the biggest areas of need or opportunity within the sports space? You showed a couple different examples, one from an event standpoint, a player standpoint. What do you think are the biggest areas of opportunity for you from a business standpoint?
Yeah, my personal interpretation is that my colleague Shane's in the back corner. We work as a team, and we've been focusing on not only the leagues but the teams for the past 2.5 years. And every single conversation we've had has been a department, a siloed department, looking to solve only their problem. Now, Domo can do that. You can sell Domo. It can be used just within, I mean, if you really want to hone it in, just within social media in a company. The vision for where we want to take Domo is across the entire organization. So literally our number one customer is the CEO. He logs in, and as you see all these tabs at the top, in this case it's structured in departments, but that's all customizable. So I think the biggest challenge that we've seen is traditional businesses run in silos. Even within marketing departments, they run in silos. And it's tough to get people to think as one. And I think for a lot of companies or a lot of organizations, that's a culture shift. And it won't be, you know, that can be painful. Saying, hey, we're going to make everything transparent, so you don't get to massage the Excel spreadsheets before you present them to us. You know, we see that data coming in and everything's coming in clean. That's the biggest challenge. Fair enough. Hey, thank you.